guys, it's time. What is it time for? It's time for the 2016 Bookshelf Tour. I don't even know if I did one last year. I either did it last year or 3 years ago. And I since have acquired another bookshelf. I now have 2, and I have like one little space left, and I am working on 3. A lot bigger than they seem, I'll tell you this. This is about 6 feet tall, and this is about 9 feet tall. Notice you can't see the top of this. The problem with bookshelf tours is I guarantee you by like September of this year, everything will be different. Because I just like to rearrange the things and stuff and make it all pretty. Because bookshelves are pride and joys. So we're going to start up here and we're going to go down here and then we're going to go from the bottom here and we're going to go up. And I don't even know how I'm going to film the bottom of the bookshelf, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. So over here on the first shelf, the one I found the books, we have Friends DVD collection that this is like 10 episodes. I always take this with me on like road trips or airplane trips. Keeps me entertained, and if you didn't see my video last year, I'm like obsessed with Friends. Next, I have this Paris, I don't know what you would call this statue. It's what females don't want to go to Paris, guys, let's be honest here. And finally, I have this little box. It says, write and must write what he has to say, not speak it. Ernest Hemingway. It has some pins at the top of it. And it's insanely heavy. It weighs like 5 pounds. And I just have random coupons and things in there. And I have this little pin on the side that says, I'm like a crazy cat lady, but with books. And this is so accurate for my life, man. I'm so tempted to make that just my Twitter file. And I've also discovered that my shelves are quite dusty. Fun times. So then we come over to the first shelf with books. First, I have Afterworlds by Scott Westenfeld. Then I have The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, These Broken Stars by, don't remember the first names, but Kaufman and Spielin or something. Then I have Acrostian First by Beth Levis. And these are honestly just like these very large hard copy books that are just mix-max, so I just like put them together. Then up here I have Dorothy Must Die, and then I have Grave Mercy, and then it comes my Cassandra Clare collection, as I so call it. I have the Magisterium series that Cassandra Clare did with Holly Black. Then I have the paperback version of The Infernal Devices. I love setting them up like this because there's a giant mural, Will, Jim, and Tessa on our little covers here. Over here we have Six of Crows by Leigh Budargo. I had nowhere to put this, and because it's black, it kind of matches this, so I just put it under here. Then I have my hard copy of the new edition of the Mortal Instruments series, which I absolutely love. These two are from a different company than these are, so the whole picture shifted down and darker with these two, which really annoys me. But you can tell that this is, you know, the bread. We got some demons around, and we have our whole crew here. Up here I have Sodomy. I didn't, again, have anywhere else for this, and it's not a series, so I just put it on top. And then on top of that is Cassandra Clare's City of Bones, but the TV cover with Kat and Dom. Over here I have the Mara Dyer series. This is the first one, and then this is the third one. I don't have the second one because I haven't read the series yet, but when I come around to it, I'll end up getting it. Next, I have the Hunger Games series, and then I have the Divergent series. And up top, because I have, again, nowhere else for it, is Reboot by Amy Tintera. On the next shelf, this is what I like to call my little shelf, because if you've seen, like, the height of this versus the height of the previous one, it's like half of it. So I just have to fit little tiny hard copy and paperbacks in here. First, I have Cinder by Melissa Meyer. I just have the first one of the series. I don't own the series, so I haven't put them together. Then I have Lauren Morrill, Meant to Be, The Girl of Nightmares by Kendare Blake, and by Alsaid, Let's Get Lost. Then We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. The Ring and the Crown by Melissa de la Cruz. North of Beautiful by Justina Chen Headley. Then I have the Red Ruby trilogy, which I really like because they each have these like little photos that kind of like go together. Then I have Glass Sword by Stephen Jackson. It's quite a tall paperback, so I put it next to hardbacks. Then I have The Revenge of the Devil Wears Prada, The Devil Returns. This is book 2 of the Devil Wears Prada series, and The Devil Wears Prada is a huge comedy movie. Next I have A Little Something Different, and then the Angel Fall series. I think the third one has come out now, but I don't own it yet. Then The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, Will Grayson, John Green, and David Levithan, Patty Blount, Some Boys, and this is actually an arc, but it's not. It's out now. It came out in August 2013, but I just like arcs, so I wanted it. And this is Just Like Fate by Patrick and Young. I have the paperback of Pierce Brown's Red Rising, and I have Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, Inheritance, which I Was Sent by Lisa Forrest, the Lux series, both of these over here, and If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules. And honestly, over here is my hardback, and over here is my paperback, and this is basically my paperback self. So every time I get a paperback book, which is rarely, I'll end up putting it somewhere over here. Second to last self, you notice I'll put a lot of books underneath books, like if I have no place for them. First I have Magonia, and then I have A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and these over here are like my really, really big hard copy. Then I have Seeker and An Ember and Ashes, Red Queen and Glass Sword, and up top here I have The Cruel Crown because it kind of goes together with these two, but like I don't want to put it in the middle because then it won't match height-wise. And the new Hunger Game covers with just the symbols on them. Then over here I have A Tyranny of Petticoats by a lot of different authors. It was like 7 or 12 authors. And up here I have both of Zoella's books, The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings, The Proxy duology, and then my Legend trilogy. This is just my Marie Lu section. First I have my Legend trilogy with the Legend graphic novel at the top here. Then I have The Young Elites, both by Marie Lu, which will soon be a trilogy in October. Next I have Curtsy and Conspiracies. I believe this is the second book. I'm not even quite sure why I own it. I just kind of fit it in there. Then I have Panic by Lauren Oliver, 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asser, What I Thought Was True by Becca Fitzpatrick, Undertow by Buckley, and then my two Jennifer E. books. Finally, concluding it with The Book Thief by Mike Zusak. And then up top here, I have John Green's Looking for Alaska. I'm not even quite sure why I put it over here because my John Green collection's on the other side of my bookshelf. But I did with White Cat by Holly Black and To Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moskowski, which I've been dying to read forever, and I finally got it. Then finally down here, I have my mixed match section. The bottom of the bookshelf, and at the very bottom under everybody, is The Maze Runner by James Dassner. I was not a fan of this book. Next on top of that is The Bone Season by Samantha Sannon, and then the first The Devil Wears Prada, which is in hard copy. Then I have Off the Page by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Lear with Holly Black's Darkest Part of the Forest. I again don't know why that's there because my Holly Black books are on the other bookshelf. Then I have Just Listen by Dessen and L.A. Candy by Conrad. I don't even know what either one of those are about, and I have no idea why I even own them. Next I have the Daughter of Bone trilogy. I hate how they don't match in size. This one, the Smoke and Dope Bone, is shorter than the others, which drives me crazy. Underneath those I have Faking Normal, which is a book I'm not even quite sure what it's about. On top of that with The Diviners by Libba Bray, Every Day by David Levithan, The Finisher, and then comes my random books, which I still have no idea why I own, with Cool, Popular, oh I do know what this one's about, Miss Perengri's Home for Peculiar Children. Not quite sure why I put that there, I should move that up. Teardrop by Lauren Kate, Waterfall by Lauren Kate, In Deep, Starry Night, Ruined, Romeo and Juliet with Vampires, and A Tale of Dark and Grim. And at the top there I have an arc, which is now out, of Angels at the Gate, and then Let the Sky Fall. Then over here on my other bookshelf, this is again the bottom of the bookshelf, which just has completely random books. I first have a Spanish Webster book, which I'm not quite sure why I own, with 3 Biography of One Direction books. I don't think this one's official. I think I just bought this because it had their name on it. Then at the other side with Wilbur Smith's The Desert God, which I was sent, and then my 2 Dan Brown books and the Wizard of Oz series. with City of India by Kylie Jenner, not the one you're thinking of. Again with another Dan Brown book, but since it didn't fit in size, I put it later, down the shelf. At the bottom, I have The Cuckoo's Calling, Glow, The Warrior Heir, and The Dragon Heir. Then I have The Payback of the Hobbit. Then I have Demi Lovato's book and Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac with the City of Bones postcard set over here. Not quite sure why I own it. Finishing up with The Vampire Diaries and the Wake trilogy. And then up here I have Tennyson and Black Ice. Then up here is another very small, height-wise bookshelf, part of the bookshelf, a shelf with a bookshelf. That's really complicated to say. I have my hardback of Red Rising by Pierce Brown, I'll Leave You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, and Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I hate how these are don't match, but then there's Fangirl, so I had to put Rainbow Rowell together. And I just put these together because of height, to be honest. Next, I have my Vampire Academy, almost all hardback series. I'm going to get these two in hardback when I can finally find them. Next, I have The Giver. This is the quartet of all 4 stories of The Giver by Lewis Lowry. Then I have my Jenny Han series, first To All the Boys I've Loved Before and P.S. I Still Love You. And then Burn for Burn, which is her other series, and Fire with Fire. Next I have my Gail Forman trilogy, or section I should say actually. First with If I Stay, and then I Was Here. I don't have her other books yet. Then I have my Holly Black, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town. This is a very large paperback, so I just put it at the bottom. Then I have Holly Black's Black Heart, and John Green over here. This is first An Abundance of Catherines, next with Paper Towns. Then John Green didn't actually write, but I just put it together because of height. And then finally Let It Snow by John Green, Malene Johnson, and Lauren Myrickle, because John Green's over here and I can just put them one book apart. Here on the next shelf, I have my Stephenie Meyer collection, first with a short story of Blee Tanner, The Host, the new Twilight, of it being rewrote from points of views, and then all of the Twilight series. Next I have my Abercrombie series with Atlantia, and then her Matt's trilogy. Then I have all of my C.C. Hunter books, which is quite a lot. I have Shadow Falls the Beginning and Shadow Falls the Next Chapter, which are literally just these 4 books massed into these 2, but I just rebought them. Then I have Born at Midnight and all the way to the last one at Chosen at Nightfall. Then I have a other series, Reborn and Eternal and Unspoken. I have yet to read this one, but I've read these 2. And I have a hard copy of Reborn that I found, so I just put it at the bottom there. And at the top, I have Almost Midnight, which is a novella of one of the 3 characters in this series. Next come my Pride and Joy shelves with the 2 ginormous Percy Jackson Greek Gods and Greek Heroes book, which are again ginormous. This is the biggest height shelf. Next, I have the Red Pyramid, the Throne of Fire, and the Serpent Shadow, the Kane Chronicles. And then up here, I have the Percy Jackson series in hardback. And then I have the Heroes of Olympus continuing on to here, with the Demigod's Diary and the Demigod Files on top of here, and the Hidden Nowhere Clue. So I own quite a few Liquid Iron books. Next over here, I have my giant Harry Potter. I have all the Harry Potters in hardback, and then I have A Tale of Beetle and Bud, which is basically the storybook or story fairy tales of the Harry Potter world if you read the last one. And then I have the new Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, but the illustrated version. This is literally book 1, but with all pictures almost. On the next shelf over here, I have my ginormous James Pattinson collection with all of Maximum Ride, finishing up with the last one because the last one for some reason ended up being quite larger than all of these. So just put it at the top here. Then I have the Witch and Wizard series, and I hate how this one doesn't match, but I have yet to find the K in a hardback. Up top here, I have Rumble just kind of jammed in there. And then over here, I have the Chronicles of Nick with all of them finishing up over here. And under that, I have Why We Broke Up by Daniel Handler and Maria Kaleman. Then I have The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, Snow Like Ashes, and Illumini. On the final shelf at the very top, which is my favorites. My favorites all belong on the shelf, so it takes quite a lot to get here. I have all my Cassandra Clare books, Cassia's Bay, and I have multiple copies of City of Bones, as you've probably noticed. Again, continuing on with just Cassandra Clare, and then over here I have The Fault in Our Stars and Looking for Alaska, because these are my favorite books of the John Green. Then I have Eleanor and Park and Carry On, because I was obsessed with Carry On last year, if you remember. And I finally ended it with the Anne and the French Kiss trilogy, because it's amazing and I'm so cute and so happy. So that has been my bookshelf tour of 2016. I don't really think I would make another bookshelf at the end of this year unless some significant changes happen. I'm probably going to make this a yearly thing. I hope you enjoyed seeing my crap load of books. Way too many do I own. And anyways, thank you for watching. Bye!